We used to lick postage stamps back then. Obviously, you've never heard of that. I mean, they didn't come ready-made, you know, with the sticky stuff already on the back. You had to trigger the sticky stuff with your wet tongue. It took time. If you had many letters to send, you could spend up to 10 minutes just licking stamps. We used typewriters back then, and whiteout for corrections and carbon paper for copies. And we had telephones, and in order to dial the number, we had to put our index finger in a round hole representing 2 to 0. And if you had to dial a number like 909-9999, it could take hours. We had patience back then. And we used to lick postage stamps. It was unpleasant, but it had to be done. We didn't multitask back then. Doing one thing at a time seemed appropriate. And I guess you can sort of listen to a play and sort of send a message and sort of watch a video game all at once. I mean, it must be wonderful. I know I sound like a crank, but I don't like change. I mean, my play is about scary changes in the weather, but there have been other changes since then. There are 785 television channels. You can watch the news report that matches what you already think. And in the 50s, there were only 3 or 4 channels, and everything was in black and white. And there were no child stars that became drug addicts back then, like Lindsay Lohan. I mean, Hayley Mills was in the original Parent Trap, and she grew up to be a sensible, nice woman. There was no South Park. We used to watch Howdy Doody starring a puppet. Oh, and Kukla, Fran, and Ollie starring 2 puppets and a really sweet lady named Fran. We watched puppets back then.